Welcome to lecture number 17, that is JUnit framework in Selenium Webdriver in Java. In this lecture, you will learn how to do assertions in JUnit tests, how to group the tests using categories concept, how to ignore the tests, and how to run the tests using Maven. So let us go to IntelliJ and then start exploring those concepts. So first of all, we will be looking at assertions. So to do the assertions in Selenium in JUnit, what you have to do is you need to import this package, class order.junit.assert, and in that class we have got lots of methods like assert equals, assert true, assert false, which you can use. For example, assert equals method takes first parameter as expected value and second parameter as actual value, and you can also specify the message as well. For example, you want to specify that this is a simple title check. So this is optional. First parameter is optional and last two parameters are required parameters. That is, you have to give the expected value and the actual value. So actual value we are going to get it from the Selenium. This is get title method, and expected value we actually know that one. So I have just put it over there. So what we are doing in this test is launching the browser and then going to this particular URL and checking the title, that title should match with this particular value. Now I have deliberately given this title, the wrong title over here, so this test is gonna fail. So if you run this test, it will definitely fail because the expected title is not gonna match with the actual title. Then we will run the test once again to check that title matches. So you can see the test has failed, and the reason is expected was this one and actually is actually different value. So that's why this test failed. And if you give the correct expected title, the test is will turn green. So if you run this one, this time this test will pass because we have given the correct expected title. So you can notice that this test has passed, one test has passed, and it also displays how much time it has taken to execute the test, 42 seconds. So that is how you can do the assertions. Now this assert class has got many other methods like assert dot assert true, assert false, etc., which you can use. And you can also look at the signature, like this assert false method takes first of all the message, string message, and then boolean condition. So if the condition is false, this test is gonna pass. So if 22 is not equal to 22, so since this condition is false, this test will pass. So that is how you can add the assertions in JUnit tests. Then let us look at another concepts. Now this particular test class has I have defined three test methods: test 1, test 2, and test 3. And let us say if you execute this test class by right clicking and then clicking on run, then it will execute all the three tests. But if you want to like skip some of the tests, you can add this annotation @ignore, and then if you add that annotation, what will happen is that test will not be executed. Now if I execute this test, you will notice that only first two tests will be executed. That's the significance of that @ignore annotation. As you can see, this test 3 has been ignored. So that is one concept. And another concept that I want to explain is that out of these three tests, you want to execute specific tests, and you want to put the test in specific category so that you can execute the tests in all that specific category, all the tests in the specific categories. For example, this test 1 has been added into this category called sanity.class. For adding that particular test in the category, first you need to create the category. So here you can notice that I have created this sanity interface, and that is my one category. So to create another category, all you have to do is just create the similar type of interface with another name, say regression. And then to put the any test in the specific category, you have to use this annotation add category and then name of that particular class or the category. Once you do that, to run the test in specific category, you need to create another test class like this and use these three annotations at run with categories.class. Then you need to specify which category you want to include. Here you can give multiple classes or the categories. And finally, we need to give the test classes. So my tests are in this particular class, my test dot class. So you need to give that class, but you can give multiple classes as well by specifying the comma. So let us run this particular class. And as you can see, only one test has been executed. Even though that my tests, this particular class contains 3 test methods, only one test has executed, and the reason is because the included category is only sanity.class. That's why. So this is about the categories. And another thing I wanted to tell you is that how to execute these tests using the Maven. So you can see that there are lots of packages over here in this particular project, and when you execute the test fetch or the test goal in the Maven by double clicking on this test, then what happens is it goes to all the packages and then looks for the classes which contains the test in their particular class name. For example, this class has got this test in it. That's why this class will be picked up by Maven and then all the tests will be executed. But if it comes to this particular classes, it will not execute the tests from these classes because the names of these classes doesn't contain this word test. So remember that if you want the Maven to execute the tests from your classes, always follow that naming convention. It should start with the test or it should either end with the test, your test class. For example, this particular test class ends with the test. So that's why this will be picked up by Maven. And to execute the tests, all you have to do is just double click on this particular goal and then the test will be executed. Alternatively, you can also click on this particular button and then use this particular goal test to execute all the tests like that. But if you want to say execute the test from specific test class, you can use this parameter called as dTest is equal to, and here you have to give the name of the test class. So if you execute that, what will happen is it will execute the tests only in that particular class. As you can see, Maven Surefire plugin is executing this test, and you can notice that only that particular test class has been executed. There were 3 tests, one has been skipped because of at ignore annotation, and the remaining 2 tests were executed. So that is how you can execute the tests using Maven in your JUnit Selenium project. That ends our lecture number 7 JUnit framework, and I hope you enjoyed this lecture. Stay tuned for more lectures on Selenium WebDriver. Thank you.